Good afternoon and welcome to the Nine Eye Bowling Club in Lower Hutt for the Champion of Champions singles. We're about to bring you the men's final between Robbie Bird of the Nine Eye Club in Wellington, the host club, up against Sheldon Bagri Howley of the Gore Bowling Club in Southland. This is how they have got to this position. Robbie Bird with a 20-15 win, time limit victory over Tony Grantham in the quarterfinals, then 21-12 winner over Dan Dickerson earlier this afternoon. Sheldon Bagri Howley had a bye in the quarterfinals and then an absolute heart stopper against Dean Drummond of Bowls Hastings and Hawke's Bay, 21-20 to get to this situation where he is now in the final up against Robbie Bird. I'm Brenton Vinassory. Alongside me in commentary is New Zealand squad member Claire Hendra as we are right into it. It's going to be very interesting to see how the conditions change over the context of this match, because it's only going to get colder out there, Claire.
Oh, absolutely. We're hitting that 4 o'clock. This is usually the time that I'm just leaving work to turn up for training, so in half an hour it's usually what would you call it, around the 12-11 degrees, and then we'll lose a couple of degrees within the hour.
And it will only have not just an impact on the spectators, but also on the conditions of the green as well. It's been a great start to this final. Both players right on the money, as you would expect. Robbie Bird would have played this green maybe as many times as you have been a Nine Eye local, and then Sheldon Bagri Howley, we all know his calibre as well. Teammate of Claire Hendra in Bowls 3-5. Just following this one down.
Absolutely, look at that start. You could place a mat on top of those bowls. The speed of the green will slow down. It'll be interesting. Robbie playing on the surface a lot and trains on the surface a lot. If he pulls out that full 2 metre to 2 metre, it's something that Sheldon wouldn't have experienced in the surfaces that they have down there, but obviously a well-known player that plays a lot himself. He has the experience to know to adjust. I think we're in for a great game.
Yeah, if it's anything like what Sheldon Bagri Howley had in the semi-final, very much looking forward to this one. Bagri Howley, as he does, jogging after this one, bending down with interest, gets a lovely rub off a Robbie Bird bowl right onto the jack. Touch it. One of the more enthusiastic players as he makes his way down the green. You would have seen his histrionics a lot. Bowls 3-5, obviously.
Definitely enjoyable to play with. I'm not sure against. I must say I did get the pleasure to play against Sheldon earlier this season in the mixed pairs, actually, where I did get to play at the same end. Mixed pairs, you can play any order, 2-4-2, so we did have some good discussions down our end.
Of course, Sheldon Bagri Howley played with Selena Smith that tournament. He played with Craig Merrilees. Yeah, I can't remember who got. They got the better of you, did they?
No, Craig and I snuck through on top in that one.
That's right. Seems like so much bowls has happened since then.
Yeah, winter arrived.
Yeah, exactly right. So having a long look at the situation here is Bagri Howley.
Knowing Sheldon, I expect that he will still go for a draw. He'll still play for that shot to have a go to make it to 2. Likely be thinking, how can I make more of that?
Yeah, always thinking the positive. Not too worried about possibly losing the shot. Trying to turn it into a second here. Following this one down. First end of our men's final, the Champion of Champions singles. Hoping to get a nice little feather again off another Robbie Bird bowl this time. Probably needed a bowl a bit closer in rather than that short bowl of Birds. Didn't have the weight to come off any further. But it is Bagri Howley on the board first in our men's final. The Champion of Champions singles here at the Nine Eye Bowling Club. And it is Nine Eye's own Robbie Bird taking on Sheldon Bagri Howley of the Core Bowling Club in Southland. Earlier today, around 15 minutes ago, was Val Smith who took out the women's title. 21-19 victor over Leanne Paulson. Another title for the Nelson Club and the Nelson Centre. And another title for Val Smith. And as we mentioned in commentary, her silver star for 10 national titles. And 3 of them have come this year. It's quite remarkable. National Inter Club, National Inter Centre. And of course, title today, and to go with the National Open Pairs title as well.
Val is a great one to show that she's been playing for quite some time this game, and she won a lot of her local titles a lot earlier on in her years, but to come back and absolutely show an awesome peak again. It is not a sport where you have that one peak and you're gone. I know for myself that I've been and gone once already and come back again, but Val, always amazing player to watch. Some people may have thought she was not necessarily back at the quality that she used to be. She's shown them all that she's one to watch out for, the person of the day. Played an amazing game against Leanne Paulson and came out on top again, 3rd time this year.
Yeah, going to be very hard to deny selection for her for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, especially following the retirement of a good mate from International Bowls, Joe Edwards. Be invaluable to have someone of her experience just in the squad as well. She plays in those team disciplines in the 4s and the triples.
She has that international experience that I think is possibly missing over these last few years because of the fact that we haven't had any chances to play bowls, not outside of New Zealand anyway. And it's interesting here that we talked about the weight change, and now we've got that light coming across. It will be heavier for these 2 on this rink compared to the last 2 that we're playing on here.
It's incredible how much lower the sun's got in the sky just in the last 15 minutes, isn't it? The sun is absolutely pouring through when it had just reached this rink towards the end of the women's final that we broadcast early this afternoon. Now see that sun streaming across the 9i Bowling Club indoor facility here. This looks a decent bowl from Robbie Bird. Just needed it to roll a couple more times. Want to grab the shot, so Bagri Howley still holding.
I must say, in all my time training down here at 9i, and it may just be that Robbie and I don't always turn up at the same time, I've never actually seen him train down this end of the green.
Right. So he's always at the other end?
From when I'm here, though. But,
yeah. Maybe he prefers the cold, is that what you're saying?
The 9 o'clock training. Maybe he prefers the lunchtime training sessions.
Decent bowl this from Bagri Howley. That should be enough for 2nd. And indeed, marker goes up. 2 lollipots for Bagri Howley. So Robbie Bird with all to do with his final bowl of the 2nd end.
As we spoke about in that last game, we're going to start to see lines on the green from the bowls. And that'll be a mixture from the cold and the angle of the sun.
Yeah, they're very obvious now, aren't they? Your eyes are certainly better than mine late in the women's final. I couldn't see the lines that you were mentioning, but now they're very clear and obvious for all to see on both hands. Playing with weight as Bird. Got rid of both. Brilliantly done. Has that bowl stuck around? Still shot. I think you favour the Bird bowls out to the right of screen. Wonderfully done. Coming through that tiny gap between those 2 bowls short.
You see that there are a lot less spectators now on that sideline.
Yeah, starting to drop the temperature. So 1 to Bird. So he's on the board. 1 apiece now. Robbie Bird of 9i, the Wellington champion, against Sheldon Bagri Howley of the Gore Bowling Club and the Southland champ. I mentioned their playoff and post-section results from earlier today. Both players or Bagri Howley rather, went 4 from 4 in section play. Robbie Bird had dropped the 1 game in section play, so had the 1 defeat over the Friday and Saturday to get to the stage. 3 wins were required to make the quarterfinals. From memory, secured his place in quite convincing fashion in that final round of section play. Very much the local favourite here. I'd like to thank a few of the 9i Club members are in attendance, or maybe in the slightly warmer confines near the bar, watching on here.
Oh, we do have, there are a few down the side there, but I also noticed that there are a number of Southlanders down there and out there. I know that Sheldon's partner, Pania, has come to support him, which is great. And I also noticed that there are a couple of my good Southland, what do you call it, club mates that are also here supporting. Awesome to see. Sheldon also has links here to Wellington himself, so he'll also have some local support out there.
Focus on the face of Bagri Howley. Watching this one as he managed to pick its way through the gap, or gets it, knocks away the shot bowler Bird and stays for shot. And it's that kind of bowls that you mentioned as well, reaching. And it's certainly been the case so far, just in the early stages of this contest.
I think with the speed of the green changing, it's definitely going to be that the whole, that's what we're going to see. There's going to be constant weight movement, constant playing through that head, otherwise they're just going to drop short.
Bagri Howley just wanting a bit of an instruction from the marker as to how far away the Bird bowl is from the jack. It's right on that centre line, of course. Bagri Howley, after that little instruction, now the player's third. I'm going to change the situation. It's been interesting already how many times Bagri Howley's made his way to the head. Robbie Bird pretty much been willing to just take the advice of the marker. Hasn't made as many trips.
I wonder if that's local knowledge.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd feel you'd have a better feel of the heads here.
Yeah, you do know that it's like I mentioned earlier, that those shorter bowls are actually shorter than they really are when you're looking at them from the other end. So there's usually space there to draw shots or play through shots.
He knew straight away that he didn't give that enough. It was a metre short where he wanted to be. So Bagri Howley still holding shot. It's 1-all. We're playing the third end.
I'm expecting Sheldon to be playing through that that Robbie bowl or through his own, pushing it up.
Bit of noise, I think. Bit of movement just to his right-hand side. So he moved off the mat, composed himself again. Crouching down, watching this one make its way down the rink. Oh, that might not have worked out that well. That was not what he wanted. That may have promoted the Bird bowl into shot. Must be quite close between those two. Bird waiting for Bagri Howley to make his way down to see for himself. And it gives up the mat. So, final bowl, not what he was after. I suppose that's the danger, isn't it? Sometimes you take that approach, it doesn't go your way. Didn't this time. So Robbie Bird now leading 2-1. This first 221, of course, singles, men's singles final of our champion of champion singles here at 9i.
I think that was something we noticed. Like I mentioned to you earlier, I've played 2 years now in the internal or indoor professional bowls here in Nainai. In my first year, I performed well, but I didn't do brilliantly. I didn't win any of the events. I was sort of just always making that quarter-final, semi-final sort of thing. So I had quite good ranking points, that we call it. But in the second season, what I really learnt was I needed to constantly be playing through, and I needed to be having more weight than you'd be expecting. And as a result of it, came through with a couple of wins. It won the Scottish singles here and another one. I can't remember what it was. But it definitely made a difference to my game, making sure that I was constantly up and through. Otherwise, I was just losing my bowls. And I think we mentioned it against the Vow in the endgame. You're just edging things. You need to be playing a bit more positively here.
And like you say, you talked about the percentage, isn't it? It's higher percentage playing like that. You get more chances to score than just simply trying to draw.
That, and it's like the bowls just stop dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Not narrow out of the hand there from Bird. Runs into his own.
I'm finding it interesting. They're wearing hats inside, which I always found quite, at this time of night, I find that really hard on the light in here, because you do start to get those massive shadows, and it's nowhere near as bright as it is in the day, even with the lighting that we've got. The lighting has been on the entire time that we've been recording here. So there is going to be, it is going to start to look a lot darker in there than it is and has been.
I suppose it's just what you prefer, isn't it? Sheldon always seems to wear a hat, isn't it? So
I can tell you he has got hair under
yeah. And I don't know much about Robbie, but I assume he must favour just wearing the hat as well, what he feels most comfortable in. Both wanting to show off their club colours as well, which is great to see.
I must say the Gorham's hoodie that Sheldon's removing now is actually incredibly comfortable to wear. Not uncomfortable. It's really warm. I found myself playing it with it here in the indoor to keep myself warm.
Seems like he's warming up, which is interesting because temperature's probably going to drop soon.
Yeah.
Sheldon, he'll no doubt know that from having played here the last couple of days, and they certainly had later finishes as well the last couple of days too. So it'll be interesting to see how they do with that. Trying to get a bit of knock that one in, but not closer than the Baggery Howley bowl. Again, playing with that weight to reach. Try and get some movement off the short or wide bowls. So there's bowls, New Zealand shorts, and there's Gorham's shirt and cap. Baggery Howley, obviously a familiar figure to viewers on Sky Sport throughout the 3 seasons of Bowls 3-5.
I'm looking forward to seeing what attire we're wearing this year for 3-5 and the colourings. A little bit different to the last year, I hear.
Yeah, of course, last year you just said that the 2 colours, wasn't it? Right, that's his Gorham shirts from year 1 or 2.
I can't say I was a fan of the orange, to be honest.
Yeah, with my Dutch heritage, I was a big fan of the orange. I was pretty much responsible, I think, for the orange. Yeah. Pushed it big time.
You're playing right. I felt like I was wearing pyjamas.
Yeah, I think I understood it more for the actual bowls, having the 2 different coloured bowls. That made sense, especially for the viewers back home. Made it a lot easier for them to tell who was who. But yeah, for the shirts, I don't know if it's as important to have the different coloured shirts each week.
I found it quite hard for the bowls for me. Like, I play with a size 2, and that's not something that many people play with at this sort of level. So we only had, I think it was one set of 2s in one colour. So we had to hunt around to find another set of size 2s that were blue.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember actually going through the stats and finding out that one colour was actually far more successful, which is incredible because everyone had pretty much an even split of playing with the one colour or the other. But I think it was the orange was far more successful as it worked out, which was quite funny.
The scare factor of the colour.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the weight controls. Fantastic.
Perfect from Bagri Howley, right on that line. Jack level. Robbie Bird needing to make the correction with his first. And looks to have done so. He's going to land on those Bagri Howley bowls. Great response. Good round of applause from the crowd here at 9i. Hometown player, of course, Bird.
I remember Robbie telling me when I first started playing in 9i that you should always play the wide hand in here. I don't, but I don't always. But I don't know if he does either. He is there, obviously, but it'll be interesting to see if he does that for the entire game.
Bird with his 9i hoodie and hat as well. Both players repping their club colours. Champions of Wellington and Southland Centres. Jogging after this one is Bird. He's interested. Oh, he knew pretty much from a couple of steps down the green, this is in the area. I said he doesn't make many visits to the head, but he thought, oh, this is a good time to make a visit to the head. Great bowl from Robbie Bird.
Absolutely. You might find that he's standing up at the side. I feel like Sheldon's not going to be short.
Yeah, and readiness of what Bagri Howley's going to do. Bird off the back. Here comes the drive. Weighted bowl. It's not a full-on drive, just controlled weight. Just going to slide past. Yeah, just a touch wide. And it was just a touch. That's all it needed. Being a bit narrower, would have got right flush on the jack and taken that into the ditch. And he would have probably held a couple, maybe even 3.
This really is a 2 to 2 metre length.
Yeah.
And Sheldon's the one that's played that jack.
Mm.
Possibly it would have not been my choice against the local who would have practiced a bit more.
Yeah, you're right. Well, you were mentioning that was the length you would have thought Robbie Bird would have tried to play against Bagri Howley as the local. And look at that as well. He's pushed another one onto the jack, so that should be 2 now for Bird. Should take the lead here. Does. So 4-3. Now Robbie Bird leading Sheldon Bagri Howley. First to 21. Men's final of our champion of champions singles here at 9i Bowling Club. The final game of 3-day tournament. Next stop, this champion of Champions Month, Dunedin. That's the Peers. And we'll bring you the finals, of course, next Sunday. Bird, no surprise, sticking with this long length. And a great start as well. Touch up. Just kissing the jack. It's made its way past. And if you didn't join us for the women's singles final, tell our viewers, Claire, why you think it's so advantageous for Robbie Bird to play this longer length end.
Yeah, here in Nine there is definitely different speeds depending on which end of the green that you're playing at. Down at rink 1, at about this time of night, you're looking at least 3 seconds quicker than you are down here in rink 7. And we're playing on a 40-metre length green. I don't think any of the other greens here in New Zealand on the indoor surfaces are a 40-metre length. So it isn't something that these other players will be used to. And obviously Robbie, being local, has had the opportunity to train it a lot more, and he does spend a lot of time out here in the green. Yeah, so the longer lengths is something that other people wouldn't have had the opportunity to play, and the speed of the green as well. We are playing at the slower end.
Yeah, Claire Hendra, just like Robbie Bird, plays here a lot, so knows this green inch by inch. Urging that one on Bird, not going to quite come in. Still holding shot though, is the 9-eye player.
If anybody watched the last game, you'll also notice that the bowls are not turning as much as the ladies were, and that's simply because of the fact that the speed of the green is changing and it's slower, so they're pulling up a lot quicker.
Oh, there, great play by Baggery Howley, knocking away the shot bowl. That was in behind the head. Been a great contest so far between these two. Picture changing for nearly every bowl. Bird will look to try and put this bowl right back where his shot bowl was. Try and force Baggery Howley to play that shot once more. Trying to, I think, trail the Jackie was this time. Move it back to that previous shot bowl. Baggery Howley just moved, given that Baggery Howley's bowl went into the ditch, so he holds the deepest bowl. So attacking move by Bird, wasn't just after just the one, and as you said, it's often easier to play those attacking shots, isn't it?
It is on the surface, yeah. I've just had a correction from somebody watching telling me that there is a 40-metre green down in Christchurch. I believe that would be an outdoor green, however, and probably not this sort of speed.
No, they're pretty quick down in Christchurch traditionally. Very good greens down in the Christchurch region. This is going to come up short, so unable to add to the count there, Baggery Howley, but he has got the mat back, and you can see where he's brought it. He's like, I've had enough of these long ends. I tried it once, didn't like it. So 4 apiece it is now between Robbie Bird and Sheldon Baggery Howley. This first 221 men's final of our champion of champions singles. Already crowned our women's champion. If you missed that, that was Val Smith, the Blackjack Legion, who took down a New Zealand emerging player Leanne Poulsen 21-19 in a cracking women's final. So another title for Val Smith. And Robbie Bird just asking whether that's far enough. I don't think it is. Robbie Bird, being the local player, I think, said to Sheldon, I don't think it is, mate. And Sheldon, trusting him, going, take your word for it, you'll know. So giving away the jack, and the mat goes all the way back again. We saw exactly this happen in the women's final, didn't we? It was a tale, that the whole final was a tale of 2 lengths, where Val Smith loved the longer length ends, where Leanne Poulsen liked the shorter length ends. And Leanne Poulsen conceded 10 shots in a row, finally got an end back, and then gave away the jack and was forced to play another long length end.
Another long, yeah. It's definitely it is an opportunity for a local player to take advantage of the surface that we're playing on, chucking it long out here. Especially a player like Robbie, who does know it well and does train.
Good opening bowl though by Baggery Howley, a length he didn't want to play. Robbie Bird ideally would have added even deeper than this. under the line is first and short.
We've seen that sun completely disappear now. The temperature in here is going to be dropping and dropping quite quickly.
Don't worry about us though. We're in a very comfortable position here in our commentary, we must mention. There's no need for us to worry. We're in a very good spot here, our commentary position. Well looked after. And the fans are the ones that have to rug up. And then of course the players too. At least they get to move around a bit.
Although we've got 2 sets of legs showing in this game.
Yeah. A marker and both Sheldon. Well, he's from Southland though.
Yeah.
He should be t-shirt and shorts, shouldn't he, really?
I'll say that. Craig's coming up to play with me in a couple of weeks' time. I'll say that to him. I'm expecting shorts and a t-shirt.
Especially on a lovely day like this.
I might be playing in my swan dry, but you still have to be in your t-shirt and shorts.
Swan dry and some.
Yeah, and that's the sort of play that I'm expecting these guys to be playing, pushing through those bowls, keeping them going forwards. Forwards momentum is the only way to be playing at this time of night on this surface.
Very well played with Bagri Howley. Kind of bowls we're going to expect throughout this men's final as the rain continues to slow up. Temperature drops more and more. Just after 4:30 local time now. Sun, as you can see, completely gone. Fair effort from Robbie Bird. Just need maybe a touch more weight to get rid of that Bagri Howley bowl. He would have been holding 2. Has he still managed to do enough to move it and grab shot? Marker indicator. Bagri Howley still holding.
Yeah, I feel like he's opened it up for another good opportunity for this next one, but it just depends what Sheldon does. Again, on the surface, I'd be constantly playing forwards. Moving that jack backwards is not bad for Sheldon at this point in the game.
Interested in this one, Bagri Howley. Crouching down.
Very good bowl.
Oh, another beauty. But, yeah, it's a beauty, but what has it done is it's created a target for Robbie Bird.
But we have got, Sheldon has got that back bowl there. The way that jack is lying, though, does look like it would be pinging out to the side where Robbie's is.
I would share a bit of a joke as well, the two players. It's funny, I mentioned earlier that Robbie Bird doesn't seem to be making as many visits to the head, and I think the last 3 ends he's gone down after his third bowl. So he's probably thinking, well, if Sheldon's going to do it, I might well do it too. This is it, close. It's going to get something. Gets one of them, but doesn't stay. So it'll be 1 to Bagri Howley. He was a touch narrow, wanted obviously to get the other side. Well, he could have got the jack and spit it out maybe to his bowl, or get rid of the other chop bowl of Bagri Howley and sit on that. So 5-4. Bagri Howley leading Robbie Bird. And we'll see this time. And that should stay up. Or, yep, has. So that'll be placed right on the tee. So this time he has decided we'll go with the longer length in, which is, it didn't work last time, did it?
No, but who knows what goes on in Sheldon's brain sometimes. There'll be a logic to it. I'll ask him later.
Of course, Sheldon and Claire, teammates, and the Gore Rams, bowls 3-5. See them later in the year on Sky Sport, of course, with Hastings and Nelson, the 2 new entrants. It's only going to add to the high standard that we have in bowls 3-5. Certainly, not that there has been any easy games, but it's just going to make it tougher, doesn't it? When you got Joe Edwards, Val Smith, Dean Drummond, who's such a good indoor player, added to the mix.
Absolutely, we're really looking forward to it. I know that there's a lot of team talk going on already right now between the team, mostly jokes, but a great group to be a part of, I must say. I've been to Gore Bowling Club once. It was closed, and I set off the alarm by just leaning on the door.
So never again, never allow back. That was it.
Not.
Yeah.
I did get the opportunity while I was down there to go and witness what Sheldon does, and he works on sort of vintage aeroplanes, which was really cool. I can't say that I've ever had the opportunity to jump in and sit in some vintage planes before, and I'm not sure that we were supposed to, but sorry, Sheldon.
Yeah, it's a really unique profession, isn't it? I remember when I first found out that he did that. Very surprised that there was an option down that part of the world.
Oh, absolutely. And when you go down and have a look, you go, oh, it's actually a huge workshop.
Yeah.
And the other one is that he can actually fly, sort of his microlight as well.
Great bowl from Robbie Bird. Florida there, Mark O'Connor, bowls New Zealand president, watching on. Join that bowl from Bird.
He's bravely sitting out there without his puffer jacket on, which I saw him wearing before.
Yes, I think it's only because he knew he was in camera shot, so he's just putting on a brave face.
What,
yeah.
cold Wellington? No.
He was certainly rugged up more earlier when it was warmer, so it's, yeah. Unless he's put a few layers on underneath that we don't know about. Big Riali. It's not far away here. Gets the jack. It's a toucher. Has it trailed too far though? Bird still holding. Waiting for the assessment of the marker. Yeah, Bird still holding. Great effort from Bagri Howley. Maybe rolled an inch too far. Not much in it, I don't think.
The way we're going with this, I think it's going to be another 21-19, 21-20 game.
Absolutely. Yeah, very high standard so far.
Oh, and this one in return is great bowl.
Oh, look at this. Somehow found a way through there, Robbie Bird, so he managed to turn that to a 2. Great work by the 9-eye player. And Bagri Howley, no need for a measurement. So 6-5 it is now. Robbie Bird of 9-eye, the Wellington champion, leading Sheldon Bagri Howley from the Gore Bowling Club in Southland. Now, final match of these champion of champions singles here at 9-eye. Women's final earlier today. That going the way of Val Smith, 21-19 over Leanne Paulson. Will it be Robbie Bird, Sheldon Bagri Howley to join Val as champion of this tournament? Bagri Howley, like Val Smith, going through section play with a perfect record. Difference he had was today he got the bye in the quarter final.
It was quite a large field to only have 7 qualifying, both the men and women.
Yeah, certainly was. Needed 3 wins from your 4 games to qualify for post-section play, and there was just 7, as Claire Henshaw mentioned, and both men and women. So it meant there was a bye in the quarterfinals for 2 players. It'd been Sheldon Bagri Howley. In fact, it was both the most southernmost players, I think. And Leo Callahan from Alexandra. And Sheldon Bagri Howley from Gore, who are looked after in the draw there. Would you you happy with the bye in a quarter final, get that passage through the semi final,
yeah,
or would you like to play? Yeah, but it must be a bit of a toss up. You must want. I wouldn't mind the match play. Don't want to give my opponents to have just played.
Nah. You'd still want it.
Take
I talked about earlier that I had the opportunity when we were down at the National Falls in the mixed pairs to go and visit Lindley and her partner's place, and Southern hospitality is just absolutely amazing. I came out of that place with what would you call it, a whole load of vegetables from their cart that I arrived back to our accommodation where all of our teammates are staying, saying, look, I've bought us a gigantic what is it? Oh, but we did know it was what do you call it, a courgette, but it was absolute gigantic courgette. And so the next night we had one of my favourite meals, all prepared with beautiful fresh local vegetables.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, we were very, very well looked after down there, that's for sure. So Robbie Bird just played a drive with his previous bowl, jack in the ditch.
There's the puffer jacket come back.
Yeah, right on cue. He's probably reading some messages saying you're copping a bit of grief. Commentary, Mark.
What's on the wall behind Mark that you don't actually see now is a very small grey box that actually holds the temperature on it.
Right.
So they keep a constant monitor of that temperature in there. We did try to work out how to heat this particular facility, and all that it resulted in was melting the side of the greens with these big gas heaters. So yeah, no heating versus heating kind of one.
Great effort there from Robbie Bird, drawing to the ditch.
How good is your eyesight there?
From
Who's got shot?
it's very difficult. Oh, I think we saw the marker go up from that. I couldn't tell which colour it was from here. Trying to get on that Robbie Bird bowl and knock it out. Does. And has it stayed up? No, it hasn't. Not touches. They both go out. So he's got rid of the Bird bowl, which I think would have been shot.
I'd say he'd be giving himself 2 shots now.
Let's see. I think it is certainly 2, isn't it? I think from that angle. Yep, 2 blue lollipops up from our marker. So Sheldon Baggery-Howley takes the lead back. 7-6 now in this first 221 men's final. Champion of champions singles at the 9i Bowling Club. I hope you have enjoyed our coverage wherever you may be. Of course, just reminding you this is a month of champion of champions tournaments. 4 straight weeks. So it's singles to open the month of July. Then we have the pairs down in Dunedin. Then the triples and 4s. Hastings and Pukekohe, the other venues. Of course, all indoors in the month of July. And we'll bring you finals action from all 4 tournaments.
I must admit also I think that we're also doing some live streaming of our PBA finals.
Yes.
Yeah, which is not soon after, is it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Back down in Dunedin, a very popular centre this year.
Yeah, of course, North v South to be held in Dunedin as well, to come in September. So yeah, it's great to see all the indoor facilities obviously being used, showing how valuable they are. And certainly this has been a very valuable one for the Wellington region, having 9i Bowling Club, this indoor facility here.
Yeah, I can definitely say my game wouldn't be what it is without this venue. If I wanted to play sort of winter bowls before now, would have been up in Napier, or we call up in New Plymouth, which is just a little bit far to travel with
just a bit.
A little one go, hey, I just want to go see whether I do well in a tournament, get knocked out or not. I wouldn't be able to, what do you call it, coach the Suns football team or do stuff like that if we weren't doing that.
So how many hours do you spend on a normal week practicing here at 9i?
On the green?
Yeah.
Probably only about 4.5.
Right, yeah.
It just depends on what training I'm doing and what I've got on that night. Because normally, like I mentioned, I train on my way home in the evenings, and obviously I've got a little 5-year-old who, Charlie, I quite like to spend some time with at night time. But also this particular green gets very, very cold. And sometimes I pick health over freezing. But there's not normally a lot of other people here that often or that regular. There'll be the same people over the weeks that I'll see. So I'll see certain people on a Monday night, certain people on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
But you know the ones that come and practice. They do really, really well in particular events in the indoor. As I mentioned in the earlier game, it does make a massive difference, the training on the indoor here, specifically because of that difference in weight across the green and also the length of the green compared to what we have outside here in Wellington.
Bakery Alley, but unfortunate there. No touch on the jack, but bowl ended up in behind Robbie Bird's. So Bird with an opportunity, he can sit on his perhaps to get 2 of this. Take the lead back. This looks like a very handy draw. It's got the weight though. Needed another roll. Might still be enough. It's hard to tell from our angle. Certainly you favour Bird with 1. But has he got second? He has. So it was enough. Well played, Robbie Bird. Takes that lead back. So 8-7 it is now. Great contest between these two.
I see one of our local players from my club sitting behind there with his t-shirt.
Build them tough up Silverstream, eh?
Clearly we do. Adam Turner, I think he played the singles for Wellington for a couple of rep events, and then Seamus was in there. I'd like to say that the young faces of Silverstream is what you're seeing.
Maybe he's just left to get a jacket.
And we're just starting to see them dropping that bit short. And I think we'll continually see that throughout the rest of the day as the speed really does constantly slow. It doesn't just slow down and stay at a speed. It will just continue to slow down, slow down, slow down.
So how fast do you think it was? How many seconds was it playing? Do you think we started? Just as a rough estimate, obviously, to can't be spot on.
With the ladies, I think we were probably up at about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I think we're probably down 13 maybe now.
So, and we could get what, as low as what, 11 perhaps? 12? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
That's the worst I've seen it, but that has been late night. Like we have played, I've played in here at about 9:15 at night. It's the latest that I've been in. And that was very, very heavy. I'm hoping this season we won't have to play that late. Not sure if COVID's going to let us do that though.
They've made a good adjustment with their last few bowls, Bird and Bagri Howley. Must have been short to start with on this end. Bagri Howley going for another visit. Get a nice rub off the short bowl. A bit too short to get fortune off that bowl. No, it's holding 2. Suggestion there from the marker. So his last bowl counted as well, Bird. Getting an indication how short the Bagri Howley bowl is. It's a jack. I think just wanted the speed to slow down, what I think was the indication of the hand. This might work out alright if he runs into his. Is that now given Bagri Howley any thoughts? Can he play off that big target?
I personally wouldn't be drawing to that, only because of the surface again. You have to play that weight perfectly to draw to that. And of course, shouting could be possible to do that. I have learned that him and I do read ahead very differently over the last year. But on this surface, that is the harder bowl.
Here comes that controlled weight from Bagri Howley, attacking that target, trying to get a run off it. And he got a run off it, but didn't get the jack. And now the teapot with green. Has it changed the situation, or is it still just two? Two lollipops look like they're going to go up. Is it maybe three? Is that play from Bagri Howley cost him a third shot? Yeah, I think three lollipops already. So it's a 3 to Robbie Bird. And now the biggest difference between these two players has opened up. So it's now 11-7. Robbie Bird leading Sheldon Bagri Howley in this first to 21 men's singles final here at our Champion of Champions singles. And the long end played by Robbie Bird, as we'd expect.
I think it's important to note that we talk about it being really, really long in here and talking about 40 metres. But to understand the difference of it is that every other green sort of in Wellington is a max of 36.6. So we're looking at, what, 3.4 metres longer than anywhere else in Wellington, and then most greens here in New Zealand.
Yeah, that is a huge difference, isn't it? Especially if you're like Robbie Bird, you get to play here regularly. Certainly an advantage. And you want to make the most of that advantage, and that's why you play the long ends. Certainly makes sense. Decent first bowl from Bagri Howley. What can Bagri Howley do to try and make it difficult for Bird, or to try and disrupt him on these longer length ends? Is there much you can do? Or do you just hope for an opening?
I think it is do what Robbie's doing there, playing with that constant weight, pushing through.
Yeah.
That's the best thing he can do, is constantly be through that jack. Don't aim to draw to that jack. Always be at least a foot through.
Bird with the toucher, trailing the jack through. It's even deeper now on this rink, maybe a metre from the ditch. So with the mat all the way back, we are playing, what, a good 37 metre length green, which is longer than any green, so it's beyond ditch to ditch in the majority of New Zealand greens. So it's just showing you how long we are playing.
It's helping people prepare. Commonwealth Games coming up next year is the next target for sort of Bowls New Zealand and the international stage, other than the sort of Trans-Tasmans with Australia, and that's been played up in Birmingham. Birmingham surface will be running significantly slower than the majority of greens in New Zealand, if not all. So I think they're looking for sort of 11-second greens, which I must say that I think Nino has run that slow before, but it's not constantly at that. So they're trying to encourage everybody to be training on croquet lawns. But with this sort of length and weight, this would sort of indicate people that can actually draw to that heavier, longer sort of surface.
So you can come have some late night sessions here then to replicate that.
In summer.
Oh, look at this bowl from Baggery Howley. Very good. Gets a little toucher on that bird bowl. Grab shot back. Of course, Baggery Howley, one of those who are hoping to push for selection for Birmingham. See with Mike Kernahan now moving into coaching as well, so taking his name out of the selection hat. There is an opening in that men's side, and Baggery Howley has had a chance within the side one occasion due to an injury. Got a chance to play for New Zealand and is in and around that squad. He's performed well at local events, and I think we'll be hoping for a big performance at North v South, and no doubt press his claims once more for higher honours. But it's a very difficult speed to prepare for New Zealanders, isn't it? And it's conditions where New Zealanders don't usually do that well in playing in the UK as well. We don't have as great a record in the UK.
No, we don't. And I think, like for me, the prep that is planned for Birmingham is looking pretty detailed and pretty good. I can say I'm definitely impressed with what Bowls New Zealand have lined up, and the preparation for it has definitely started now. So we are out there on those croquet lawns, I must say, sort of this week, because when information is out there for us, and I've already rung our local croquet lawn and have set up a meeting with them tomorrow sort of afternoon for 4:15. They are the issues that we have is the croquet season for our lot's actually starting next week.
Oh,
and
wow.
The surfaces, like our lawn bowl surfaces, can be damaged, and at the moment they're a little bit concerned that even us training on those could damage the surfaces. So for me, or for anybody here in Wellington, in order to train, we're going to test those surfaces and see what we can do. I'm not sure what else you can do other than look at local greens and see who would consider preparing one to the speed of what it would be like up in the Northern Hemisphere, but I think that's quite risky for a club.
Yeah, Baggery Howley grabbing one shot back there, so 11-8 it is now, and bringing that mat up. Jack all the way at the 2 metre mark, so I think that mat might be all the way up as well, so short length here for Baggery Howley. Had enough of the longer length ends, which Bird prefers, and he's even picked a couple himself, deciding that short length is his go. Good start there. So with the croquet lawns, is the grass just a bit longer? Is that why they're slower, or what?
I think it
was
is.
It different grass?
I can't say I know a lot about croquet lawns. I did get told by Ross, I think, because the guy on the phone yesterday, that they cut it at 10 millimetres.
Right.
So I'm guessing that's a lot more than our sort of 1, 2. I'll find out tomorrow. But they do say that playing on the surface while it's dewy can damage it
right,
quite badly.
Which at this time of year, it's often, you know, there's not much of a window when it's not dewy. Well, good luck with that. Because I can imagine there's not too many croquet clubs around as well. It's not as many clubs as there are in the game of bowls, so it can be hard to find those croquet clubs to play on, especially ones, I suppose, in decent enough nick that you can play on and not damage.
I think we made 3 in Wellington that I know of, 1 in the Hutt Valley.
Great second bowl from Bird. Baggery Howley trying to follow it down. Oh, it just rocks it. Doesn't move it though. Bird bowl still stays in place. Just going to come up short, but it's maybe on that line of the previous bowl of Baggery Howley. So holding 2 shots here is Bird. Maybe that previous shot, Baggery Howley's now under pitcher perhaps because of that Bird bowl. As he plays with a lot more weight, gets rid of it completely. He's changing hands, playing with that weight, trying to get the jack, knocks it into his own, brings it back, and that's not the result he wants. And now, chance to make it 3 here, Bird, and that's unfortunate, isn't it? The way that jack spat out, hit his own, and then came back down the green.
And that's definitely not Sheldon's full speed drive.
No.
Something that can definitely happen here indoors, because of the fact that it is slower, heavier, the jack is not going to go as far at that speed. So he's given Robbie that opportunity at drawing a third.
Good bowl from Robbie Bird to grab a third as well. Tried going to a tricky part of the green, well off that centre line, did it expertly. And begrudgingly, Bagri Howley hands over the mat because he's got a bit of misfortune there. 3 to Bird though. He now goes up by 6, 14-8. 9-eye player leading Sheldon Bagri Howley of Gore. Wellington and Southland champions meeting in this men's final of the Champion of Champions singles here at the 9-eye Bowling Club.
Back to a long end.
No surprise, no surprise. Robbie Bird, he can play the shorter length ends as well, but he knows that this makes Sheldon Bagri Howley more uncomfortable playing this longer length. So why not continue at it, especially when you can do that off the front. Pretty much, yeah, what, 36 metres they're playing this length end, ditch to ditch. This is a fair response from Bagri Howley. A number of good heads in this contest, a very high standard. Just going to come up at short. Bird, the second.
Sheldon's first bowl's giving him that opportunity of that drag and pushing back, playing through.
That's not what he wanted. Well short. It's a rare miss. Other players really been that short today. Majority of their bowls have been pretty bang on with weight. You know, missing by feet rather than metres, but that was well short from Bagri Howley. Using that bowl almost as a bit of a marker. He wanted to get on the inside of that if he could.
That'll push it in.
Yeah, or push it in, exactly. Just clipped it, moved it a tiny bit. Bagri Howley looking to make a good adjustment from his second, which is that short bowl.
Grass is good.
He's unfortunate to just touch that Bird bowl and run past. Now, what's Bird thinking here? He's obviously trying to second guess what Bagri Howley will do next.
Did his other bowl end up in the ditch?
I believe so. But we can't actually see that on screen, can we?
Oh, no,
No,
it
it's
didn't.
not. No, it's not. Thank you. Tamara and Colin operating the broadcast here at 9-eye. So he does have the deepest bowl. A bit of safety there. Bird, if Bagri Howley does play with weight with his last.
So he's changing his hand. He's playing into to wide those back two up, would it be?
Yeah, I think that was the plan. He wasn't far away either, was he? Not far away at all. So, do you stick with that forehand if you're Bagri Howley, or do you switch to the backhand and maybe try and play off that wide Bird bowl?
I think it depends on how many is it down.
Yeah.
I personally would probably be playing Jack and Drink, or sitting that other bowl off.
So following this one down Baggery Howley. Looks a bit narrow. It's not far away. Oh, gets the jack. Oh, that was absolutely perfect, really. And he's unfortunate he just got that side of the jack rather than not getting it straight. Would have carried it back and would have been 3. Instead, it is 1 to Robbie Bird. One more. So he's now up by 7. Robbie Bird 15, leading Sheldon Baggery Howley 8 in his first to 21.
And we'll be back to another long end here from Robbie.
Absolutely.
He's obviously going to be playing what's working.
Yeah, play from this position of strength, especially with Baggery Howley now playing catch up. Knowing that he can't lose too many more ends, otherwise Bird's going to be positioned to win this title outright.
And we see our president there with a beanie added on to the jacket.
Well, ever since you mentioned you thought he was being very brave, he's suddenly changed. So yeah, Mark O'Connor, our Bowls New Zealand president, with the beanie on now and that puffer jacket. It's that time after 5 o'clock where the temperature really starts to drop away. And the green slows down as well. And that's why it's most important. Touch up from Bird.
Interesting enough, Robbie was actually Val Smith's mixed pairs partner
Yes,
at the Nationals.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, wouldn't that be quite incredible? And they didn't actually do that well at the Nationals. I think they actually did. Can't remember if they made post section or. I don't think they did. They were one of the bit of surprises that didn't go through. So it'd be quite incredible if the two who played together at mixed pairs go on and win the Champion of Champions singles.
I was definitely, I had a great chat with Val before playing. She said she didn't really know Robbie at that point. She goes, I've had this person say they'd play. I was like, oh, he's such a nice guy. And I really rate him as a bowler. He's a really good bowler. Trains, is really consistent. So why not? And I'm pretty sure they would have got on playing on the green. He's a good laugh.
Yeah, obviously didn't work out for them down in Central Otago. It's pretty much the only tournaments where Val Smith hasn't gone deep into post-section play or gone on to win the title. But whatever didn't work there is certainly clicking here, because Val Smith, if you missed out earlier on, has taken out our women's title at the Champion of Champions singles. She beat Leanne Paulson 21-19 in the women's final.
Just looks a tad past it. And Sheldon has an opportunity here now to rein some of those points back in.
Yeah, what's the shot? What's the best opportunity here, you think, to score more than just one?
I think if he's coming in underneath his own bowl, sitting on that bowl of Robbie's out there on the what would you call it, on our left-hand side, or on our left-hand side now. Exactly what Sheldon's looking at playing.
It's going to come round, but it needed to be on the inside of that bowl. Need a bit more weight as well. Didn't quite get that right. Good effort, but not going to count. So Bird will be scoring again. Is it one or two? They're going to come have a measure. So one's taken away, assuming that was the shot bowl. Bird going to his first, then he'll go to the Gregory Howley bowl, which is right on that centre line.
Look at the energy that he had there.
Those two. So he's now potentially just one end away. Robbie Bird, a local player here from Nainai Bowling Club, 17-8 over Sheldon Bagri Howley.
He's just played incredibly consistent, I think. I haven't seen any big, massive bowls or any of the running up like we used to from Sheldon. Maybe the cold is really getting to him. Come on, harden up, Sheldon. But no, it's amazing to see that. And for me, always something important to see, that those that put that training in and the effort in, you're going to get those results out.
Yeah, if you can limit Bagri Howley for those opportunities where he gets really into it, he can get a bit of momentum going, can't he, when he gets those, plays those big bowls. But really, Robbie Bird's given him very few openings to be able to play those bowls.
Yeah, he's been very smart about the way he's been playing. He hasn't been putting all of his bowls in one location, grouping them together, giving Sheldon those opportunities to land those big bowls. And whether or not that's a tactic that Robbie has planned, I don't know. But Robbie is very, very good in that mindset, so possibly.
So Bagri Howley will know that he really can ill afford to not score on the coming ends. He needs to stop this run of Robbie Bird's. It was really much bowl for bowl, wasn't it? I get two here, you get two here, I get one here, you get one here. And it was very tight until the last few ends where Bird has just pulled away. Couple of ends with Bagri Howley, maybe got a bit of misfortune. For the most part, Bird has dictated proceedings. It's going to find a way through these two bowls.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Lovely bowl from Bagri Howley. Not a touch-up, but right on the jack. An inch away by the looks of it. And that'd be the bowl to get him going again. Bird will come down with this bowl. See the pitcher clear for himself. He's close. Oh, great bowl from Bird. He's unfortunate that it went, because how close it was to the jack. It knocked the jack rather than got the bowl out of the head.
Robbie will not be short with his next bowl. He has every opportunity there.
This is decent as well from Bagri Howley. Unfortunate. It's just knocked that closer. Again, you need even extra weight, don't you, to move these bowls.
You do, but he has changed Robbie's shot there with his last bowl. Robbie will now likely be playing up onto his own bowl, whereas in before he would have been playing straight at Sheldon's other one.
So Bird making slow walk back to the mat. The long walk as well, and playing ditch to ditch here at Nainai.
I usually run it at this time of night just to
Just
try
to warm
and
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be the same. Any opportunity for run, I'd be running after my bowls down the green, even if they're not even close to the target.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he needs the weight. I don't know if he's got the line right here, unless he gets a bit of fortune. Almost got a bit
Sheldon
of fortune.
covering his face.
Yeah, Sheldon thought he'd get a touch off that one, might knock the shot bowl out of the way, but didn't. It's a bit of relief for Bagri Howley. So, yeah, Bird was well off the line. Didn't get the fortune there.
You see Sheldon's sort of skipping a step there, knowing that he's going to be scoring this end. As long as he doesn't do anything silly, he's definitely going to be changing that length. That's a definite.
Yeah, stopping that run. He needed to. It's paramount he scored on this end. And he is going to score. Is he going to maybe score more than one? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on the right line, does it? Had the right weight, but not the right line. Was after, so coming under the head there. So looks like it'll just be the one to Bagri Howley, but a very important one because it stops the run of Robbie Bird. So 17-9. And marching out of shot all the way up as far as he can go. And now I think he'll try and place this jack on the 2 metre mark. Get up there. And it's pretty much perfect. Look at that placement on the 2 metre mark. That's where he wants it. So vastly different length to what we've been playing of late. But as Robbie Bird has showed, when he has dropped an end and Bagri Howley's got the mat and played short, Robbie Bird's been up to the mark as well.
Yeah.
So Bagri Howley knows that he has to still be perfect on these ends.
He needs to make sure that he's playing up. He needs to have that weight through if he's going to keep those shots, because Robbie is not going to be short on these ends.
This is close. Just got to slide through. Here's an example of it. Not short. Robbie Bird. Bagri Howley can't be either. Changing hands, and he's not far away again. Is he going to find that same gap? He does, this time on the other hand.
I'd say Sheldon would make sure that he's there now, because this is shaping up to be quite a risky end for him if Robbie does manage to move that jack.
Especially with Bird being 4 away from winning 2. You don't want to be short Bagri Howley.
It's currently 8 degrees here at 9-9.
And it could be colder inside as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the temperature has certainly dropped. As you can see, basically the good barometer of the fans. You've got blankets on legs, puffer jackets, beanies everywhere. Yeah, it's not your traditional bowls garb, that's for sure.
Need to start selling fan wear.
And that's why it was starting to be important for Bagri Howley to get beyond the head, because he's got all the deep bowls, Bird. So he's got one back there, Bagri Howley, which is important. One just moved by Bird. Let's get up there again. Bird, of course, with the final say. Both players are going to make their way down to the head to see what the situation is. Great bowl from
very good spot.
Bagri Howley. Yeah, and that's going to make it hard for Bird to move the jack back to his blue bowls now.
Back to all 4.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it cuts out the possibility of Bird scoring a 4 and winning the game, clearly. And now it's just Bird seeing if he can even just win the end.
Now it's sort of a game of billiards.
Yeah, certainly is. Right, get an edge of this one, we'll go that way and get an edge off that one. And that's why you don't want to be short as well, because you give your opponent opportunities to play off those short bowls. So Robbie Bird. Baggery Howley holding shot. Final bowl this end.
I think he is too narrow.
Yeah, looked narrow at the hand, didn't it? So he's certainly attacking that shot bowl, or trying to get a piece of the jack, moving it to his two behind the head. Wasn't able to do so. Should be 1-2 Baggery Howley. He said, oh, I might as well measure for it.
I'm going to try for something.
I think it was a why not. One doesn't do me that good. I want more than one. Will that work? It's hard to tell from our angle, but they certainly favoured that bird bowl. So it is just one. Baggery Howley. Bit of a laugh and a chuckle to himself. I think he knew that wasn't, but maybe my eyes are deceiving me. Yeah, maybe my eyes are deceiving me. I'm just going to measure anyway. Why not? So 17-10 now. Robbie Bird still in control, but Baggery Howley will keep fighting. And as long as he's got the mat and the jack, I think he's a chance here.
He'll be definitely thinking, thank goodness I've made double figures right now. Let's aim for something a little bit higher.
Oh, the ditch. In the ditch. Oh, he can't believe it. Knows it's how important it is, the length of these ends.
Interesting with Sheldon, he is a bit of a talker. Obviously, we tend to would know that, because obviously I'm a bit of a talker, but Robbie's quite quiet when you're playing against him. So Sheldon is using the audience there to have a chat to.
Yeah, getting nothing back from Robbie Bird, so look at his support staff, support team over the other side there. He mentions his girlfriends here and a few others watching on, braving the elements.
Selena's there, good friend of his. Yeah.
Yeah, of course they played pairs together, mixed pairs, nationals earlier this year. Selena Smith and Sheldon Baggery Howley.
I think there'd be Lindley O'Callaghan in there. I'm not sure if they're on the side, but they'll be out there supporting him.
Great opening bowl from Baggery Howley. Right on the centre line, right on the jack. An inch or so away. He doesn't like the speed here. Wants it to slow down, Robbie Bird. Straight out of the hand.
I think usually when he does a dance, it's supposed to be a good bowl.
Oh, really? Well, you'd know his mannerisms more than I.
I'm not sure. Somebody said it to me the other day. You know.
Yeah, so certainly was too much on that one. Rare miss from Robbie Bird.
Sheldon's looking like he's closely nailed it with a second shot. Two very good bowls.
Oh, just what you want when you have one just in front, have one in behind. Perfectly done. Big moment too, if he can get a bit of momentum going, Sheldon Baggery Howley. And a few ends in succession. Aggressive play here from Bird. He's going to get a piece of one of the Baggery Howley bowls and certainly makes that picture better for him. Jack's now exposed. Those two bowls are right next to each other now. Baggery Howley's. So while it didn't grab the shot for him, it definitely makes it better.
Oh, it definitely makes it a fatter target for him to hit. And on the surface, you want to be playing that weight up there, so he's given himself all the best chances. Sheldon dropping that one where it is not ideal for him. He's kind of opened that door for Robbie to grab that jack.
Yeah, take it back to his previous bowl.
He doesn't like it.
Doesn't like it. Oh, no. Had the opening. And I think a bit of a sigh of relief for Baggery Howley because there's a poor bowl from him, his previous, that gave the opportunity for Bird, but Bird couldn't capitalise on their replica of his opening bowl.
Sheldon will have to play to that back, though. If Robbie gets hold of that jack with his next bowl, it's game over.
Completely. Yeah. Baggery Howley has to have something deep. 3 deepest bowls, all birds. 4 away, of course, from winning this title. Has he got the weight? That's what he needs. He has. And that's well played.
Yep.
Very well played.
It's exactly where he needed to put it. 3 out of 4 is not bad,
yeah,
is
exactly.
it?
Yeah, 3 really good bowls from Bagri Howley. First 2 right on the jack. Third bowl short, wayward, but then at fourth bowl coming right back to the centre line and in behind the head, just where he needed to be, as a bit of cover for Bird if he's able to pull off this bowl, grab the jack and move it back to where his bowls are. Now if he does move the jack, he might end up just moving it to the Bagri Howley bowl potentially.
I'm just trying to wonder what the opportunities are of full speed and removing all 3 of Sheldon's bowls. They are in line. I'm just not sure from this angle how much in line.
So playing
No,
a weighted bowl, not a full-on blast. He's going to get 2 out of the way, and that will make it 2. Wonderfully played, Robbie Bird, and I think you just saw a shake of the head, a good shake of the head saying, well played, Robbie Bird from Sheldon Bagri Howley. He's like, yep, well played. So there'll be 2 more to Robbie Bird, and he's now 2 away, 19-10. 9-eye player leads here at 9-eye Bowling Club in the men's final. Bit of gaze for shit from Bagri Howley. Yeah, go fetch.
And there will be saying to Robbie, yes,
Yeah.
got a wound up, he's trying to make it.
Well, exactly. Oh, I think he's just like, oh, now, because I think Bagri Howley's like, oh, we're going to play another long end, aren't we? When you've got the control of the jack.
Look at that, 2-2.
Yeah, Bagri Howley now knows he has a mountain to climb. Bird 2 away. Bagri Howley 11 away.
I feel like here's his opportunity. Robbie's played it narrow. And it's not past that jack. Sheldon really has to be up there. Foot through. Easy to say from the commentary box though, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're trying to do 36 metres.
36 metres, and we're looking at 8, if not less now, degrees out there, which means the speed of that green is slowing considerably.
Yeah, so we're thinking, yeah, 13, 12 seconds maybe, speed of the green. Very slow. As you can see with the lines that the players are taking. It's a great bowl from Bird.
Fantastic. Great.
Yeah, near perfection. Good round of applause from, no doubt, a few 9-eye members watching one of their boys making it through to the men's final here at the Champion of Champions singles. Rocking the short bowl of Birds with Bagri Howley. Certainly playing with the weight to try and change the pitch. It was narrow.
Now Robbie's changing his hand, not taking any chances, knowing he's already got the 2 that he needs at the moment. Why make it a bigger target?
Exactly right. It's smart. So I want these in behind. Away, not to give anything to play off. We wanted that another metre or so deeper from where that ended up. But as we mentioned, it's so difficult to make that little adjustment when you're playing such a long length.
Sheldon's in the area
He
here.
certainly is. And he's knocked one out and sat right on the jack. Expertly played, Bagri Howley. And now Bird has to pretty much do the same thing. It's the one bowl in the area. There's the Bagri Howley shot bowl. If you can get rid of that, he holds 3. And he said, oh, important moment. I'm going to have a look. Closer look.
No rush.
No, no. It's been played at a pretty good tempo, this men's final.
Yeah, that's the other thing, when you notice this with the speed of green changing, the ends are so much quicker. But yeah, I think we have seen a lot more higher scoring ends in this game than we had in the last.
Oh, certainly. Especially later on, it was very tough to score more than 1 in the closing ends of the women's final, which went all the way down to the wire. 21-19. Val Smith coming out on top over Leanne Paulson. 10th national title for Val Smith, being a silver star. 3 of those national titles coming this year. Followed on National Winter Centre and National Winter Club, and then of course National Open title she also won this year in the pairs. Holds his pose on the mat there, Robbie Bird, for a long time. I think he thought he was a chance, but not quite the right line playing at that weight. Certainly was trying to get rid of that Bagri Howley bowl.
Sheldon has a chance to add another. There we see Robbie have a smile.
Yeah. Hasn't offered much, has he? He's kept very, very calm, level-headed, not giving much away. It's good to see that they're able to share a joke on the mat. Obviously, Robbie Bird more likely to share a joke in the position he's in. 9-shot advantage, but is that about to be cut to 7? No, that shouldn't change it. Should just be the 1 for Bagri Howley. But an important one because it denied Bird the possibility of winning the match. 19-11 now.
He's got that mat right back. Where's that jack going? Are we going for a short jack this time, or
has he just resigned to play the longer ends?
Yeah.
Well, is this going to go in the ditch? Or it just stays up. But so he obviously decided I'm just going to play ditch to ditch now. Let's just stick to what we've been playing the majority of the time.
Well, the other thing is I think this is the heavier direction that they're playing in now.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just really comfortable playing that hand to that length.
I have seen him play, I think most of the time the longer ends he has played this way when he's had the mat and decided. Majority he has played short, but when he has played long, I think he's played, this is the way he's played. Something he likes, and I suppose given the majority of the ends have been long, he's probably become more comfortable at it too. Just falling into that Bagri Howley bowl was Bird's first. Bird 2 away. Bagri Howley trying to deny him and move into touching distance himself.
That's the sort of home that you'd be wanting that your first 2 bowls to be there.
Yeah, not a good, bad place to be. Well, I think he likes that again. I've seen that a few times the last few ends. Bird's been a bit upset with some of his bowls. And that one, this time, it's just short. Previous bowls have been too much weight or not the right line. I don't know that the pressure that comes with trying to close out a match
close
as well, knowing how close you are. Running after this one. He lands on the target. And playing with that weight, that's worked out brilliantly because it's taken the jack back to where his deep ball was. His bowl's gone with it. Now holds 2. Well done, Bagri Howley. And Bird's going to have a look before he plays his 3rd.
That's the sort of the shots that we're used to seeing Sheldon play. He hasn't done too much play like that today in this game. Whether or not we start to see that coming through in the next few ends, if we do have a next few ends. But what you'll see with playing that weight, moving that jack back, he's taking those front 2 bowls out of the game.
Exactly right. And given how short they are now with where the jack in relation to the jack, you can't really move them. Really, you're going to have to play some pretty odd bowls to get them into the area. So you're right, they're well out of it now. The weight of the green we're playing on.
I'd say Robbie would be playing up the air, sitting on both of Sheldon's bowls, moving that jack. That's a bit skinny.
Yeah, it certainly looks skinny. Probably had the right weight. Maybe need a touch more weight. But yeah, well under the line. Disappointed with that bird.
Sheldon would need to get another third in there that's not sitting near those two. Because at the moment, Bird does have the opportunity of whacking both of those out because of how close they are to each other.
Yeah, wants to stay away from those bowls. Even be on touch of the wide side here wouldn't be the worst result.
No.
Oh, he's going to come right at the jack.
I think he's ended up in a good spot there.
Good, yeah, that is a good spot. Yeah, because if he does manage to move the other bowls, that should stay there.
So Bird can get game here though. Inside edge off Sheldon's, taking that jack to the side where his other bowl's finished. Even jacking the drink out to that corner and bowl with it.
Was that a touch of a third, was it?
It is, yeah, measure for third.
Yeah.
At this point in the game though, you've got to play for the win, so you really should be playing up there with weight at that jack.
That's what he's doing. Does he get it right this time? No, he's on the wide side, an overcorrection. So narrow with the first effort, wide with the second. So it'll be Baggery Howley picking up at least two. Measure for third potentially. And we'll have Baggery Howley doing the honours. Go to the short bowl of Robbie Bird's first, and now go to the bowl in behind the head of Baggery Howley's, which appears to be the shot. And it is, so 3 for Baggery Howley. 19-14, it tightens up somewhat.
Well, narrowing that gap to 5, the difference. Scoring how many ends in a row? Just 2 ends at the moment?
Was it 3? I think it might be 3. So, yeah, and it certainly feels that Bird has tightened up. It hasn't been as consistent the last few ends, is it? There's a few more off bowls from him.
Yeah,
he's tried to close this out.
That last line was incredibly wide, not like what he's been playing.
Yeah. So whether the pressure's starting to get to him, Baggery Howley is playing some good bowls as well. Got to give credit to him, but Bird hasn't quite been as good as he was earlier. Still in a very good position though, Bird. 19-14. 9-eye player. Wellington centre champion. Looking to get the better of Gore Bowling Club's Sheldon Baggery Howley, the Southland champ.
I find it interesting that that Sheldon didn't try that jack, the mat back and the jack right on that shortest length that much. I would have expected him to try that a bit more, knowing that his weighted shots are usually very accurate.
Yeah, for the most part of this match, nearly every end the jack's been back on that 2 metre mark, hasn't it? It's only the mat that's moved. Yeah, you're right. I would have thought there'd be a bit more variety there. Obviously, you know how tricky it can be playing those to that part of the green when the shorter ends. I suppose there's more safety when you're playing to the 2 metre mark. Touch up from Baggery Howley. Yeah, takes those Bird bowls again out of play. The short bowls. He's got one short bowl as well, but
and forcing him to change his hand.
Yeah. Needs to reach this time. Needs something in the picture.
Right grass.
Might run into his own. It's going to come round. Oh, that's a good
Very
bowl.
good bowl.
Great bowl from Bird. Just what he needed. Right on. line with the jack. Baggery Howley looking to respond, knowing that if he doesn't get one close, Bird could draw for match. Doesn't want to run into the short stuff.
He's close to that jack.
He's around it. And he's got the jack. Wonderfully played, Baggery Howley. You can tell he was close as well with that spring he had in his step, making his way down the green. So now Bird holding two, well, holding one rather, potentially making it two for match. It's now Baggery Howley holding a couple, and there's no way, I don't think, that Bird can make match here, but he can still in the end move on one shot closer. So on one of those Baggery Howley bowls, it's just past the jack. Is it too wide? It's not going to be far away, but it's a good effort on the draw. But is it just rolled one roll too much? Very good effort from Bird. This time just going with the draw rather than trying to land on the Baggery Howley bowls.
Oh, the measure's coming out.
Yeah, so it's close. Certainly from our angle, we favour the Baggery Howley bowl. But it must be closer than it looks to us. Oh, so that's the bowl's already out. That's good. So, thought that was a lot closer. So this is whether it's
like
two or not. Yeah, I think it's one. He's just going to go back to the Bird bowl to check. So one to Baggery Howley. So that last bowl of Birds cut it from 2-1. So Robbie Bird now leading 19-15. As Baggery Howley continues this little run of ends, eats into this deficit, and is bringing himself right back into contention in this final. 4 behind now. Bird still 2 away, but Baggery Howley himself now potentially only a couple of ends away from winning this men's final, our champion of champions singles tournament here at the Nine Eye Bowling Club, and upsetting the hometown hero, Robbie Bird. He's going to be short with his first.
Shortening the line.
Yeah.
First on to the jack is going to be on the jack for good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting that Robbie's line has been changing and has significantly changed in the last few ends. He'd sort of been reaching that centre line with every bowl before now.
Yeah, he's just lost it a bit, hasn't he? That line. I don't know if there's been significant change in the speed of the green. He's just, for some reason, lost it.
I've had another viewer tell me that the speed is not as slow as we think it is.
Okay, they've been counting?
They've been counting,
yeah.
But I would think that it's possibly getting slower again every end. Robbie does not like this. Again, it's on the wider side. That is the narrower hand of the two normally.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's might just be within the pegs. Very wide. Just trying to pose himself there, Bird.
There's sort
Take
of
a moment.
that moment when you might need to go for a bathroom break.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, it's a good tactical move, just to try and take a moment.
What might be worse is he might just be holding on so that he doesn't seem as that person that's taking that moment. Robbie is a really nice guy, and he wouldn't want to be that person, but who knows what's going to happen in these final ends of this game. Still a very wide bowl.
Yeah, seemingly just lost his line, isn't he? In recent times, Bird.
What do you... Is it 2, 3?
I think it was 1 was the indication earlier from the marker for Baggery Howley. I think Bird's first bowl is the second shot.
We are starting to get a bit more of a skip in that step of Sheldon's, a little bit more determination coming on. Oh, somebody's clearly said something.
He's able to regather himself. Now playing with weight, trying to promote his short bowls.
Well, I think he's going for the...
He was going for the jack in the ditch, you think?
No, I think he was going for Robbie's closest bowl.
Oh, right. Well, it's well off that target, wasn't it?
Who knows what's going on in that brain sometimes? It possibly has worked. He's probably made a couple at least of it.
Yeah, I suppose if he had got rid of the bowl, he would have held probably 3. So, just given
There's
that
a fair bit of space
given
there.
that Bird, yeah, given that Bird of the final bowl, exactly, I thought that maybe he was just trying to promote his own, but
Maybe just trying to get that gap narrower, quicker. Or he's very aware that the last few ends have seems to have thrown Robbie a bit. He's taking advantage of that and just trying to throw him again by playing something that you wouldn't expect. Oh, there's a cell phone ringing. That's the noise.
yeah.
Or a car going past.
Yeah, I think it was a car with some
Yeah.
loudspeakers going past.
Welcome to Nino.
Yeah, yeah, it's on the hour, you know, every hour, isn't it, pretty much, when you're playing here? Clear?
Exactly. I'm actually not used to it being so quiet. We normally play in here with music blaring. And Robbie has found his line.
This is more what we've come to expect, but how's the weight? It's got too much weight.
This is a big end.
So, how many is it? Is it just 1? Or is it more than 1?
I have a feeling he's
Yeah, it's just
just
1.
taken the one.
Yeah.
I really don't know what he was doing with his last bowl. I wonder if he did.
We might get the opportunity to ask him if he manages to come back. He's now just 5 away himself, Baggery Howley. Looked long gone. It was 1910, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure the score. Now 1916.
Knowing Sheldon, he'll watch this after that. Sheldon, when you're watching this, can you please tell me what you were doing?
Yeah, I'd be like, it was obvious. Come on. So short with his first.
He's given that door to Robbie, opened it up, said, here you go.
Yeah, probably hasn't been able to walk through it the last few ends though, has he? When Baggery Howley has been off.
Well, he's just going to come underneath it.
Still just 2 away, Bird. Finding those last 2 very difficult to come by.
Sheldon working hard to get himself back into this game.
It's a decent pole. It's a great line. At the moment, the marker thought he was going to have to bring the spray out. Giving a touch up. It's coming up short. Seeing all the fans well rugged up. Sheldon Baggery Howley still hasn't put their jumper back on though.
No, I
Full
think
credit to him. Showing that he is indeed a Southlander.
he'll be asking me what cold. What are we talking about? Really, he's just wearing like skin.
Yeah, he's got 4 layers over there. He's now opened that up, alleyway, for either player to walk through.
I think this shot for Robbie would depend on who is holding right now. It definitely depends on who's holding right now.
It's a measure for shot.
He's going to play that.
You're going to come and look at that situation as well after this. He's going to try and come between the port there between the two bowls.
To go around.
Plays a bit of pinball. Comes off Baggery Howley bowl and two of his own for resting. Now, is that rocked that bowl close enough that it was moved into shot?
Yeah, it's definitely moved. Sheldon's not going to be short, let's just say that.
No. Has moved one of his bowls right into that centre line though now.
I think he'll be aiming at the bowls on the side. You can get an inside edge off both of those to take the jack with your own, but you can also take the jack.
Playing with weight.
He's got the gap.
Oh, he's got the gap. That's unfortunate. Oh, Baggery Howley was so close for the jack. He's got the gap. And now Bird's looking at, do I hold game here? Do I have one? Does Baggery Howley have shot? It's so close between those bowls from our angle.
I don't know. And he's probably thinking, if I bowl it, am I risking something that I don't know if I've got or not?
You're joking.
Taking a long look at this.
I'm only one down.
Most people would say, if in doubt, you've got to bowl it.
Yeah.
You've got to play it. Or if you just have no idea, just play it.
Looks to be the approach here. Certainly going to play potentially for the match here. Robbie Bird, is this going to be those final two shots he's been after for so long? Taking his time. Knows how important this bowl is, why not? He's got a clear picture of the head, visualising it in his mind. He's deciding not to play. Wow. Well, oh well. Hey, he's had a long thought about that, didn't he? I think changed his mind. So, in essence, he's prepared to drop one because he was scared about potentially doing more damage.
No, he's definitely holding the
Or
shot. Is he prepared to win game?
Yeah.
He's definitely got one. It's
Okay,
whether or not he's got that
he's definitely
second
got one.
It's an interesting call. I personally definitely would have been playing that bowl if I had no idea, if I wasn't sure.
Don't leave it to doubt, hey?
No,
Yeah.
and Sheldon himself would have definitely been playing
Sheldon
it,
was
but-
surprised, noticeably surprised that Bird didn't play there.
Well, that's also, the fact is, you wouldn't normally walk up and get your bowl. You'd usually get your opposition to carry it down if you're not going to play
No,
it.
exactly. That's why I think he changed his mind quite
he
late on.
was. He was undecided. It does look like it's second shot. Oof, what do I know?
They're incredibly close, those two.
Oh, what a nervous measure for this umpire.
Big moment. This is match on the line here.
What's the bet he picks the jack up? Says, nah. I'm not deciding this. And Robbie and Sheldon walking around in the background are also thinking they're not sure
They're
either.
like cats on a hot tin roof, aren't they?
I don't see that moving.
Oh, yes. So couldn't be separated, those two. So Robbie Bird, a bit of a smile and a laugh there. So gamble not quite paying off, but he has got one closer. 20-16 now.
Oh, Sheldon will be thinking, is this a get out of jail free card? I've still got a chance at this game.
Absolutely, and Bird could have finished it off his own bowl, but he decided not to play the last. Will he rue that decision? Wow.
Come on, on, Robbie. Throw a real short jack. Throw something different into it.
No, he's going to stick to what he's been doing all day, which is go long. Looking for just the one shot now to close out this match. The men's final, champion of champions singles. Played in great spirits between these two.
It is a very respectable score if we do see Robbie win this end. Sheldon was miles behind and he's worked hard to get to where he has got to.
And it was so close, wasn't it, for the opening third of the game, and then Robbie Bird just took control, jumped out to that 19-10 advantage. Gregory Howley, they clawed his way back. Birds finally stopped that little run from the Gore Bowling Club player.
It's quite an interesting game for me to watch because I'm actually a member of both.
Yeah, I suppose I won't ask you who you're supporting here because it'll be too difficult to pick between the two. So you've said how great a guy Robbie is. Obviously a teammate of Sheldon Baggery Howley and bowls 3-5. Certainly got a foot in both camps here for these two players.
Absolutely. 21-20, can we have that?
Either way. Interesting now, Mark is just using the fingers rather than the paddles he's got in his hand.
Maybe he's tired. He is a dad of a baby, a little one. Maybe lack of sleep last night.
Maybe just using his fingers to keep warm as well. Another braving the shorts. Let's see. Bird keeping those hands warm. Make sure he's still got the feel he's used to.
And this looks like it's going to cut away. Will it straighten enough?
Yeah, not enough, unfortunately. Just promoted the Baggery Howley bowl. There's two lollipops going up, so Baggery Howley holding 2.
Possibly making it 3.
Yeah, although that Bird bowl might be right in the centre line, maybe favour that. Still possibly just the 2.
If I were Robbie, I'd be changing my hand. There's just so many more chances on that other side at the moment with all of those bowls sitting there. He could be sitting on something, cutting it down, using them to edge into that jack. He has, however, played his last 3 bowls, and he played all of his other ones coming this way on that hand.
Well, we know one thing, he's going to play this bowl. Made his way back to the mat last time, chose not to play it, thinking maybe he held match, unable to measure. Wasn't able to tell the difference between the Bird and Baggery Howley bowls. So it's just the one he scored. And now he needs something special here. Baggery Howley, of course, play last on this end. He's got a bowl up his sleeve, but he's holding 2 as the Southlander. So he has changed hand.
He's playing up, yep.
That's what he needed to do.
It's in the area of the jack.
Yes, he is. Into the ditch. Or has it been killed? It's been killed. Came out the side.
And Sheldon's saying we're going back that end.
Yeah.
We're not playing from here.
Yeah, of course. Go all the way back. Mark having to carry the bowls back as well.
Not a bad call there from Sheldon. Obviously going back that way, Robbie is playing a lot more consistent. So Sheldon calling them to go back and start from that other direction is choosing the direction that Robbie's not playing as well at.
So we'll have another go. Still one away, Robbie Bird. All the way back this time. The shorter length ends we've had. Final match of this Champion of Champions singles here at the Nine Bowling Club. Going down to the wire, just like the women's final did early this afternoon.
Pretty handy start here from Robbie. In that line.
Much better than he had last time we played before the end was killed.
He's starting to, you see, he's starting to bend his back. That's an indication that it is getting heavier out there.
It's taking extra effort to get that pole down the surface. Good response from Bagri Howley. Bagri Howley just has to basically every bowl beat the previous bowl of Birds, deny him, and to move a step closer himself. Of course, if he wins this end, Bagri Howley, he'll potentially be just one end away.
Looking out on that wider side for that hand.
Yes, the narrower side, as you mentioned, it just doesn't come back from out there.
And you'd not really want to be playing bowls that it's sitting out there. It's not in play really at all. You can't use it to knock anything in. You can't knock it up. It's... Oof. I'm surprised that he stayed on that hand. Not now, but coming back this direction, just because he hasn't been playing like he had been earlier. That's
yeah, perfect. Bagri Howley just touched that bowl previously. Now Bird knocking it past the shot. I think Bagri Howley asking if he's two down. It's just the one and a measure, says our marker. Obviously it's sort of irrelevant, but if he must feel Bagri Howley, if I get rid of the shot bowl, then obviously it's a measure rather than being Bird holding shots in game still.
I feel like this is supposed to be on that wide side as well.
It's going to be close. Wasn't able to knock it out.
No, it's made it harder for himself as well. It's much less of a target than what was
harder
there.
to get to now.
I feel like Robbie's probably going to go, nope, not going near there. I'm going to stick one right at that back.
Yeah, he needs one. Bird, of course. First to 21. Men's final of the Champion of Champions singles here at Bird's Nine Bowling Club.
It is great to see this many people out here watching, considering that it is that cold. I haven't seen this many supporters here before at this sort of time of day, which is what you'd expect when you've got your home boy playing out there.
And it shows he must be pretty popular at the club as well. Want to go out there and support him. Brave the elements.
He did have two options here, and I think he's gone for that first option.
Let's just hang it wide.
Chuck it anywhere.
yeah.
Well, he could have added two more. Playing it right to the back,
Yeah.
or he could have put one right smack bang in front of that and given Sheldon no option. Personally, I probably would have gone and given Sheldon no option, chucked a bowl right in the front, in his eye, in his line.
Yeah, because right now, Bagri Howley still has an opportunity. It's a difficult one. Bird holding match. Begri Howley
He
looking to
is
promote
close.
one of
He's
his.
close to hitting his into the...
And he has.
He's done it, and he's
grabbed
made
it,
two of
and
it.
He's made two of it indeed. So that was the option, as you said. Bird didn't shut the door on Begri Howley. It was left open a small amount, and Begri Howley delivered. And so it's now 20-18. Now Begri Howley potentially just one end away. What a comeback this has been from the Southland champion. 19-10 down. Now just two behind, and just three himself away from winning this Champion of Champions men's singles title.
I'm feeling for Robbie right now that he's probably still thinking back to that end where he chose not to play that bowl, and that's going to be really hard for him because that will be playing on his mind that I could have had game if only I hadn't not given that bowl away.
Or if only the marker is measured in my favour.
Yeah.
It was obviously so close, judged by the marker to be equal distance from the jack, so no one got that shot.
The ideal hand to be playing on is the other hand here, which he's now changed to, and playing that sort of, again, couple of foot through, pushing that bowl or pushing that jack, forever moving towards the ditch. Very good home.
Yeah, any jack movement, that'll be a great place to be. Begri Howley now really has a spring in his step. There's a sniff. He thought he was pretty much done for. Yeah, I think he was 19-10 down when he decided to just go with the long end as well. And maybe I thought maybe at that moment he was almost resigned to that this game was gone, but it's worked for him. He clawed his way back in, and now he has a chance himself.
It's interesting, his semi-final, he was down 18-12, I believe it was, against Dean, and obviously he pulled back in that game and came through to this, so maybe he's just naturally likes that fight.
Yeah, knows he's always in a match, no matter what the score. He's shown that this evening.
Robbie's currently holding that game.
Playing a bit of reaching weight, but looks narrow. It's not going to change the picture here.
I'd say Robbie will be staying away from that, playing to the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having a wing bowl out there, most likely out to the left-hand side from us, viewing it from this point.
Can he try and get in the way of the line of the Begri Howley bowl here? Try and plug up the hole that he wasn't able to do last time? Or opted not to do?
He could, but he has still got another bowl that if Sheldon gets it, the jack's likely going to ping out and he's going to have room to try and draw it. Yeah, that's exactly where it's needed, really. If Sheldon gets onto his own and takes that jack across.
So, last opportunity here for Begri Howley. Bird holding match and title. Begri Howley with his final bowl of this end. Can he come up with something special again? Bird held shot in the last end. Begri Howley turned it into two for himself with the final bowl. Playing with that reaching weight again. We'll try and come in between his two bowls if he can, or run into a short one. Oh, it doesn't take the jack. Wanted to take the jack, didn't. And it'll be shake hands time. It is Robbie Bird the 9i local, who has won the men's title here at the Champion of Champions singles. An epic final, 21-18 over Southland Sheldon Bagri Howley of the Gore Bowling Club. What a match that was. I'll leave you to some thoughts, final thoughts from Claire Hendra, and I'll make my way out to the green to chat with Robbie Bird.
And what a fantastic game we have just seen. We couldn't have asked for two closer finals. 21-19 with Val beating Leanne Paulson, and now we've got Robbie Bird, the local 9i player, beating Sheldon Bagri Howley, 21-18. Great game out there. Sheldon with a fantastic comeback. Showed his worth, couldn't quite make it, and Robbie just playing so consistent for the entire game. Can't say that I have been disappointed in getting to watch these two games. Have enjoyed every moment of the day. I hope everybody has enjoyed getting to see such great quality bowls here, played from 9i Bowling Club. I will be with you shortly with Brenton, with the winner, Robbie Bird, as soon as he is available after all of those wonderful hugs and high fives from all of his local teammates. Again, what a fantastic day we've had out here on the green here in 9i, and we will be having more events coming up with the pairs next week, and followed by the triples the week after. And we'll be coming to you with Brenton shortly.
All right, I'm with Robbie Bird, who's just won quite an epic men's final. How are the nerves right now that you're finally closed it out?
Yeah, there's a wee bit going on at the minute, you know. There was a couple of ends here where things didn't really go right for Sheldon, so I was just stuck at it and kept to my game plan, and it seemed to come off today. So I'm pretty happy, pretty stoked actually.
Yeah, you made that call to not play that final bowl. You must have thought you had it. Were you starting to think, oh, why did I do that?
Well, at the end of the day, I looked at it and I thought it's that close. If I won it on a measure, I didn't need to play the last bowl. There was a chance there I could have tipped it out and gone a couple down. So at the end of the day, I took the punt and it was dead. So that's okay. I got one out of it, so we're right. Happy.
Yeah, what does it mean to you to win this title here at your home club with a great crowd braving the cold weather to cheer you on?
Well, it's one of those things, you know. I was pretty much on a hiding to nothing, you know, being the hometown boy and having to work through it. I've, tripped up yesterday and had to get back on the horse again, and I just went away, re-evaluated and came back, and hopefully I've done the club proud and Wellington proud. Yeah,
being the hometown boy, do you think that helped though, playing those longer ends, taking advantage of the 40 metres we got here?
Yeah, most definitely, and that was my strategy. You know, everyone was working, pretty closely up the middle and in the shorter ends, and I just dragged it out and knew I had the advantage. Well, somewhat of an advantage. You've still got to get the bowls there. So yeah, I did. I stretched it out and it came off for me.
Well, we'll leave you to go get the trophy. Well done again. Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
That's Robbie Bird, our men's champion from the Champion of Champions singles here at the 9i Bowling Club in Lower Hutt. That completes our coverage. Robbie Bird winning the men's title. Val Smith, the women's champion from 9i. We'll be back next week with the Champion of Champion pairs from Dunedin.